Sup dudes, it's Snail, and it's that magical time of the month where we go over what I thought were the best mods of the month, and one lucky mod gets the top spot for mod of the month. Now, this is our third best mods of the month video, so if you want to see the other two and any future videos in this collection, check the playlist in the description or the annotation in the right corner. But I gotta say, one of my favorite things about doing this series is that I get to stay current with what's being uploaded to Nexus and who's doing the uploading. Needless to say, I see a lot of the same faces, so it's always nice to see a new name getting active by putting out some quality mods, and that's definitely true of our first entry. GameShark1444 is a relatively new settlement modder who has a few quality mods under their belt just within the last 3 months. And they're the person we can also thank for the Greater Mass Blood Clinic new settlement mod. This settlement area is fairly big, has a massive build budget, and it has a buildable area that spreads over 2 cells. Now you might want to grab this settlement not just for the possibilities it offers, but because it puts a settlement smack dab in an area that was previously underserved for settlements. The location would offer quick access to just about anything you need to do on the side of the map, while also being a great place for you to dump your junk into a box. Wait, sorry, Freudian slip, my bad. I mean, drop your loot off between scav runs. Yeah, that's definitely what I meant. Don't worry about the other thing. It's plain to see that Tenats has had some influence on this mod as well. Not only can you repair and restore the blood clinic and the nearby building to their pre-war glory, but you can clean up the entire area. And oh boy, if you guys haven't seen my settlement videos, you can check them out in the description, but if you have, you'll know I get a huge dopamine hit off of cleaning these locations exactly like this. The Greater Mass Blood Clinic is no exception to this fact. In fact, I had to go back to get all the building footage for this just because I spent like an hour meticulously cleaning and repairing all of my surroundings. Nevertheless, once I got it cleaned up, it was plain to see that the settlement lends itself really well to a town square type of thing right in the middle of that big open intersection. For now, I just set down a couple pieces since I like to build my settlements organically over time and as needed. However, I'm in the mood to shoot some stuff now since we got a bunch of fantastic weapons this month. Remember a couple months ago when I said, just like I said pistols were underloved, laser weapons are even less so? Well, this month we got a fantastic new addition for you energy weapon enthusiasts. This is the Glock Plasma Defender. This highly customizable energy weapon is based on the Plasma Defender pistol from New Vegas. While it does use the textures from that game's Plasma Defender, the gun itself is a fully new mesh created by Mikolov. Needless to say, this is an excellent addition to any science-centered build. As for the customization, the Plasma Defender can be configured in any number of ways that the base game laser or plasma weapons can be as well. Want a laser shotgun? Alright, a little weird, but I got you, Chief. How about a sniper beam? Yeah, the weapons got you covered there too. Want it to help you find your dad? Sorry, champ. Not even Google can help with that one. More than anything, I think my favorite thing about the weapon is how seamlessly it fits in with other energy options that already exist. It isn't too sci-fi to where it looks like it's from Starfield, and it doesn't look like a tactical gun that just happens to shoot lasers either. If you don't like the reference to Glock, you can always swap the stamp out for a more lore-friendly stamp if you really wish, but I like it, so I kept it. Now, the Plasma Defender is a fantastic weapon, don't get me wrong, but say lasers and plasma aren't really your thing. Well, this next piece is probably going to do it for you instead. This is the 9mm pistol from the team over at DegenerateDak. Hey, let's go, boys. This is a remake of the same pistol from New Vegas, which itself is modeled after the Browning high-powered pistol. It has all the fixings of a good DegenerateDak weapon, including a plethora of new attachments for you to mix and match, custom animations, sound effects, has a loading screen as well, and it's even level list injected, so you'll come across enemies using it out in the wasteland when you're adventuring. Sure, there might not be a Benny to shoot you in the face with it, but now you'll get to do all the shooting yourself at least. Personally, I welcome any new addition to the pistol roster, and well really, what can I say? I can't complain about decent stopping power in a reasonable package. But if fully auto is more your speed, then here's the... Wait a second, is this another DAK weapon? Oh god damn, you've heard of golden showers, but I bet you weren't expecting a lead shower, and that's exactly what the 45 machine pistol helps you give your enemies. This DegenerateDak weapon is a wrist breaker of a blaster made with one purpose in mind, to send as many bullets downrange as possible. It's got a custom model, animations and textures, and more customization than you can shake a stick at. This little thing, needless to say, is a lot of fun, and definitely does a good job with crowd control. While most DAK DegenerateDak weapons use the munitions ammo expansion mod to support new cartridges, this isn't going to need it because 45 is native to the base game anyway. Plus, there's a unique variant that shoots even faster and has a quicker reload speed just so you can keep the lead stream going for longer. Now, these are great weapons, but a good offense is also a good defense. Or maybe it's the other way around. But either way, not having either of those is a lot like having a bad PC. It's simply frustrating. That's why I partnered with Apex Gaming PCs to get you reasonable PCs at a good price. There's the bronze and streamer models, but I'll get the streamer plus model in this case, which by the way comes standard with a Ryzen 5 7600X, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, holy shit that's fast as fuck, and an RX 7700 XT to create the perfect mid-level PC for me to play a 10-year-old game on. I'm bad though, broke as dirt by the way, so I'm just gonna use their financing option to pay as low as $60 a month to get the party started sooner. Plus if I use code SNAIL at checkout, I can get 5% off my purchase price. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment now. Thanks Apex. I don't know, whatever, just look at this power armor, okay? Some of you might feel like this is a familiar design and you would be right to think that. This is the Space Marine power armor inspired by the Space Marines from Warhammer 40k. Now let me come clean with you for a second. I've never actually played Warhammer in my life, so the significance of a Space Marine is lost on me in contrast to someone who maybe has more experience with the game, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate this piece for what it is. Warhammer fans, let me know in the comments how you feel about this one. But moving right along, just like any good piece of power armor, it's as strong a fashion statement as it is in combat. You'll be stomping around the Commonwealth like it's your personal playground, walking through the air, grab dropping yourself on some muties, and having fun with this thing no problem. After installing the mod, you can find this suit of power armor in the Mole Rat Den, just under the Red Rocket Station outside Sanctuary. But a strong armor is best against a strong enemy, like a boss fight or something. Trouble is, bosses in Fallout 4 aren't that tough when you factor in that they're really just big damage sponges. So during Fallout 4's development, BGS had an idea for a massive endgame boss in the middle of the glowing sea. It was supposed to be a really tall ghoul named Maypole, named after the Northern European pagan tradition of inviting some aloof Americans to join your weird fertility cult. But this never happened due to some problems with the game's physics, and we never got the boss. However, the proxy god has made the previously impossible finally possible. Oh shit, I just realized I left the armor behind. Maypole, Raid Boss, and Ghoul Power Armor is a mod that realizes this endgame boss with horrifying effectiveness. Not only is Maypole a towering figure that scrapes along the thick cover of the glowing sea, but he's also just a well-made enemy. After you defeat him, you'll gain access to a sweet suit of Ghoul Power Armor as a reward for taking down the irradiated giant. As for why he's a well-made enemy, well, that's because of how reactive he is to your approach. See, if you get too close, you have to contend with his physical attacks. But if you get too far, he'll start throwing balls of rotting ghouls at you. And if you stay far enough for long enough, you'll eventually have to deal with both Maypole and massive swarms of radiation zombies that seem to only get bigger as time progresses. Now, I did eventually defeat him, however, that took a lot of firepower, and thankfully our next recommendation is exactly that. Firepower. Coming to you straight from... Oh, for f***'s sake. You can't keep getting away with it! The Flamer Rifle is a more portable version of the base game Flamethrower, and it's based on the Flamethrower from The Last of Us. It's got a range of customization options as expected from just about any DAK weapon, but there is one really cool mod I like on this weapon, and that's the Fuel Launcher. It takes the Flamer Rifle from vomiting hot napalm all over some raiders to launching flaming balls of death at your enemies from far away. This effectively means that you double or even triple the range you can hit them from, and honestly, there's few things that feel as powerful as long-range fireballs. But to return to why it's helpful against Maypole, in a cheeky callback to its inspiration, the team made a unique variant of the weapon that does 50% more damage to ghouls. That is super helpful for my purposes because when you're going up against this, you'll need all the damage you can squeeze. That isn't all though, because they've snuck another weapon in with a flamethrower, and it's a barbecue fork. And you can mod it in the weapons workbench to give it a little sausage on the end. Now, here's the thing about fire. Everyone knows it's great for two things: spreading some red-hot democracy and killing some insects. And on that note, ticks, right? They're the bane of everyone who lives even remotely near some tall grass and a temperate climate. But ticks are nowhere to be found among the Commonwealth's menagerie of mutants. So what gives? Well, Princess Ares noticed the same thing and decided to fix it by reintroducing the pests to the area with Commonwealth Goremites. Goremites. Spawning mostly in the southern portions of the map, these new critters feel so natural to the environment in the game world that it's shocking to think that this is part of a mod. They're so well done. I actually didn't realize that I was looking at one until I realized how fast they were moving and how far they could jump. That's just not vanilla insect behavior by any means. These creatures are based on deer ticks and appear in several different varieties, including diseased and glowing. As I mentioned earlier, they spawn mostly in the southern portion of the map, but true to the formidable deer tick of our timeline, these creatures are hard to find. They're usually hiding in tall grass, waiting for the sole survivor or some other unfortunate creature before they pop out and lead a vicious assault. As a side note, it would be neat if the mod was also updated to add a Lyme disease effect, like say you take too much damage from them, you get Lyme disease, but hey, even so, this is still a fantastic addition to the list of things that want to kill you in the Commonwealth, so I'm not complaining. Oh, and I forgot to mention, console players rejoice because this is also available on Xbox. Anyway, that's all we got for the best mods of May, guys. If you liked any of the mods you saw today, give them a try, and remember to endorse the mods you download. It really helps modders get noticed for their work. I know this was a pretty small pool this month, but that's because a lot of this month was just miscellaneous things that I won't really cover in one of these videos, but I digress. Now it's time to crown a winner. The weapons mods were a lot of fun, and I'm honestly sort of biased because I just like playing with toys. I had the most overall fun with the flamer rifle because that barbecue fork is just too silly to pass up. The Goremites are also an incredible addition to the enemy NPC roster. Even if they're just cute little guys trying to get some grub, they help liven up the game world. But overall, the mod I found myself most impressed with, honestly, was the Maypole. This mod not only reimagined a cut piece of Fallout 4 content, it incorporated the boss fight in an extremely challenging environment and with a nerve-wracking range of things to keep track of. Even after I was done with Maypole, I still had to worry about the swarm of ghouls that Maypole left behind, and some of the imagery I got to enjoy was absolutely nightmarish. Therefore, I crowned Maypole, Raid Boss, and Ghoul Power Armor the king of mods for the month of May. Tune in next video to see what else I play with. Thanks for watching, guys. Join the Discord to get early access to new videos and talk with the community. Until next time, I'm Snail. Take care, brush your hair. See you on the next one, dudes. I'm out.